We're going.
Okay, you're good, Doug. Go ahead and read your script.
Alrighty. The Advisory Council on Hearing Aids meeting is convening at 9:05 a.m. October 15th at the Health Licensing Office in Salem, Oregon, by telephone conference call. I will now call roll. Doug Welsh, I'm here. Tiffany Perrette?
Here.
Lorraine, and I don't know how to say your last name.
Here.
Okay. Members, when you wish to speak, please state your last name for the record. For the record, public members calling into the public phone line are asked to email April Fleming at aprilfleming@dhsoha.state.or.us and provide your name and last name. Public and interested parties' feedback may be heard during the public interested parties' feedback period if indicated on the agenda. Everyone is asked to use appropriate language, manners, and protocols when conducting board business. This meeting is called to order.
Okay, so Doug, I think that, and I didn't hear it, maybe you did say it, but did you call Jean as a board member during roll call?
I do not have that.
Okay, will you handwrite it onto your list? So she's a brand new board member. This is her first board meeting.
Okay.
We'll get to introductions once we get the agenda approved, but handwrite that in there so it's when you do roll call, it's Doug, Lorraine, Tiffany, and Jean.
Okay.
All right, and so that is exactly a quorum. So again, if we lose one of you four, then we'll have to stop until we get you back on. But first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. So if somebody other than Doug could make a motion to approve.
This is Tiffany. I make a motion to approve the agenda.
And a second?
Verheyden seconds. Verheyden seconds.
Okay, Doug, you have to do roll call now.
Okay, I'm going to...
Go ahead.
Pardon?
Oh, sorry.
All right, this is Doug Welsh. Aye. Tiffany Perrette.
Aye.
Lorraine Rodriguez.
Aye.
And Jean.
Verheyden here.
All right, thanks, Doug. Next item on the agenda is introductions. Again, like I said earlier, it's a little hard because you guys can't see it. Not everybody can see, but we'll go through and do some introductions. I'll call off names and then people can introduce themselves. So Jean, I'm Sylvie Donaldson. You know, you can see me. I'm the director here at the Health Licensing Office. I've been here since '09. Nice to see you. Bob?
Hi, Jean. I'm Bob Bothwell, and I'm the Regulatory Operations Manager. I've been with the office just about 10 years.
And then I do believe you've already met Ann. Ann?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ann Thompson. I'm one of two policy analysts here at the Health Licensing Office, and I have been here since 2014.
And we won't go through all the staff because you won't be able to see all of them, but you'll see that over on this side, there's a whole bunch of staff that are listening in. Some of them are investigators, Paige, the one that you talked to earlier. But a whole bunch of staff are listening in so that they're aware of everything that's going on. We won't introduce all of them. But then let's go through the board members and everybody can kind of tell each other a little bit about each other. But Jean, go ahead and why don't you introduce yourself to everybody else?
Hi, my name is Jean Verheyden. I'm an ENT doctor out in Bend, Oregon. Previously, I served on the board for speech language pathology and audiology for 4 years. So I do have a little bit of board experience. But my specialty actually is in voice and swallowing, not so much otology per se. But I've been in practice for about 20 years.
Thanks, Jean. Lorraine, you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Lorraine Henriquez. I've been a board member since 2020. I've been a licensed hearing instrument specialist since 2013. I live in Portland and love my profession.
Thanks, Lorraine. Tiffany, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Tiffany Parrott. I'm a hearing aid specialist, I think since 2007. In the industry 19 years, and I don't even remember when I came on the board. This is my third term because no one has yet replaced my position. So it's been a minute since I've been hanging out with everyone here.
Thanks, Tiffany. And Doug, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Doug Welsh. I live in the Eugene area, and I've been a hearing instrument specialist since 2006 and enjoy my profession very much. I've been on the board since 2020 also.
All right, thanks, Doug. All right, Jean, did you have any questions before we move on?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
All right. Glad to have you. Okay, next item on the agenda is the 2022 meeting dates. So we have picked April 1st and October 14th, both starting at 9 a.m. Anybody have any issues with those two dates? No? Okay. If nobody has an issue, then somebody needs to make a motion to approve those dates.
Verheyden makes a motion to approve the dates.
Who is that, please?
Sorry, Verheyden makes a motion to approve the dates.
Thank you, Jean.
This is Tiffany. I second.
Okay, Doug, a motion has been made and seconded, and you have to call roll.
All right, motion has been made. Doug Welsh, I'm here. Tiffany Perrett.
Aye.
Lorraine.
Aye.
Jean.
Verheyden approves.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So next up is chair and vice chair for 2022. You do not have to change it, but you do have to vote. So you can either vote to keep it as is, you can vote to change it up. Let's look at people's terms. It looks like Todd is on getting to the end of his first term. So as long as he's willing to then reappoint, then he would start his second term, but his first term is up May 8th of 22. So I don't know, Paige, if you've had a chance to talk to him or not about reappointing. I know he's on vacation. And then obviously Doug is serving as vice chair. And Doug, your first term goes through September 30th of 22.
Okay.
So his would be the same. This is Tiffany. As long as Doug's staying on, then he would finish. As long as he's willing to stay on, he would finish the year.
Well, yeah, if Doug is willing to reappoint, because he fills the audiologist position, and so as long as he's willing to reappoint, I mean, you can just keep it as it is, and if he chooses to not reappoint, then Doug would just take over the one meeting, because he said Todd would be here for the first meeting of next year, but then if he chooses to not continue serving, then Doug would just take over to do the verbiage for the second meeting. And then you would vote at the second meeting for the following year. So. Uh-oh. Did we lose Jean?
Jean, are you there? Uh-oh.
Okay, we just have to wait till Jean comes back on.
Alrighty.
And will you make sure that April is trying to get a hold of Jean?
Just emailed. Do we have a phone number we can reach her? She's calling her now.
No, that's cool. So I will dial the number for just one second. She's having issues on the phone
Okay, April's calling her. She's having some technical issues. Will we be able to patch her through? Okay, we're calling her directly from the meeting.
Hello?
Hello?
Is that you, Jean? Jean, are you there?
Sorry. Yes, I am. I am not seeing you on Teams. Is it just a phone call one?
Yes, just the phone line. So we've got Jean back
Okay.
at 9:19.
Right.
So it's okay.
You're fine.
So we were discussing the chair and vice chair and terming, Todd terming out. We don't know if he is re-upped, correct?
Yeah, we also don't know if he wants to serve another term. And obviously he's not here to say or to have a discussion. So it's up to you guys if you want to leave things how they are with Todd being chair and Doug being vice. And then if for some reason Todd does not want to serve another term, then Doug would just step up like he is doing today and do the fall meeting. And then at the fall meeting, you could choose who's chair and vice chair for next year.
Sylvie, this is Ann. When does Doug term out? I thought you said September.
His first term. So as long as Doug wants to, yeah, September
Okay.
30th.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of 22. This year or 20?
Next year, 22.
Okay, good. Okay.
This is Tiffany. Is it okay if we ask, like, if anyone else has interest in
Absolutely.
that position?
Yes.
Like, just curious, Lorraine, like, do you have any interest in either of those positions?
No, I think I would prefer to keep the chair and vice chair as is.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure to hear out of other people. Doug, do you feel comfortable, like, still serving one of those positions?
I do.
Cool. Then this is Tiffany, and I make a motion to keep it as it is.
Enriquez, I second that.
Okay, so we need a vote.
Doug,
Yay.
No, you got to call the vote, buddy.
Oh, I will call a vote. I was wondering there. All right, so let me say my spiel here. Motion has been made. I'll call the roll. And Doug Welsh, I'm here. Tiffany?
Aye.
Lorraine?
Aye.
Jean?
Verheyden approves.
Okay, next item is the exams for next year. So hopefully you've had a chance to review your materials, but we've got picked out, this is for the practical exam. So we picked January 10th, April 11th, July 11th, and October 10th. Also part of the materials is the deadline to apply for the practical exam. Obviously we have the deadline in advance, so we know how many proctors we need to hire in order to make sure that there's enough individuals there to cover however many people are taking the exam. But every year we have you guys vote on the examination dates for the following year. Anybody have any discussion about this? All right, hearing none, we still need a motion to approve the examination dates.
Enriquez, I make a motion to approve the examination dates.
This is Tiffany. I
Verheyden
second.
seconds.
Okay, a motion has been made. I'll call roll. Doug, I'm here. Tiffany?
Aye.
Lorraine?
Aye.
Jean?
Verheyden approves.
All right, so next up is director's report. So we do have a new program coming to our office. So we're going to start licensing genetic counselors starting in January. We'll start taking on applications in December for January issuance of licenses. That's another program, gets us up to 17 boards and programs now. We also there's not a lot of like stuff going on at the office other than COVID related, so I can kind of go right into the next one. We were supposed to open back up in September. The governor postponed that due to the Delta variant, so we're now planned to open back up to where our doors are open in January, so January 3rd. The 1st is a Saturday, Sunday is the 2nd, so the 3rd. We currently are open by appointment and appointment only. We haven't stopped testing. We haven't stopped issuing licenses. But you have to have an appointment. You can't just walk into our doors. So our doors are locked. We only allow in the people who have appointments. So hopefully that will get to change in January, as long as things keep going. Other than that, not a lot of change at the office. We're going to continue doing this MS Teams meetings so that people do not have to travel even when we do open back up, because we're also going to use Teams to record the meetings, and then these recordings we post out on the website so that the public can listen to a meeting if they choose to. So any questions?
No.
No? Okay, let's move on. What's next? Licensing and statistics. So let's go through. If you have your slides in front of you, I am on slide 16. So this one talks about licenses issued. It's broken out by quarter. So currently we're in fiscal year 22. So it's always the year of when it ends. So our years start July 1 and end on June 30th. So quarter one of fiscal year 22, which is where that says the 10. So for that quarter is July, August, and September. We issued 10 licenses. Next slide shows licenses renewed. So the amount of people who renewed online versus in paper. And you can see the online renewal is obviously much higher and has been especially since we've been on the lockdown from COVID. Because if you don't renew it online, you have to renew it through snail mail, and that takes some time. So the next slide just shows active licenses broke out by age and gender. You do have one individual with an active license that's over the age of 82.
Oh my gosh.
The next slide, so I'm on slide 19. This just shows the long-term trend. You guys are extremely steady. So the blue line across the top is your, permanent licenses. And then you've got your, I don't know what color that is, the orangish brownish color, and gray down below, which are your temps and your trainees. But you can see it stays very average. I mean, it doesn't do a whole lot of fluctuations, so that's a good thing. The next slide is a bit hard to read, so hopefully you've had a chance to look at it, but if you have questions, we can talk about it. But this is just all the different pieces of your exam, so that you guys know that the practical exam is broken out into different pieces. The first time you take it, you take the whole entire practical exam, and then pieces of the exam that individuals don't pass, that they can then come back and take just that piece. So it's not an all or nothing, which is why this chart looks so busy, because there's so many pieces to the practical exam. Plus there's the national written exam, the Oregon Laws and Rules exam, and then all the pieces of the practical. And this just shows how many times it's been passed, how many times it's been failed. This is not people, it's actual attempts. But does anybody have any questions on that chaotic chart? No. Okay. It's hard. It's hard to read, but we think it's important to give you guys all the information. So it's just a busy chart.
Is your exam online? Sorry, this is Verheyden. Is your exam online or in person? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
It's okay. No, that's fine. So our practical exam is done in-house. So those are those dates that we had you guys vote on. Those are the practical exams for next year. So those are actually administered in our office. And then certain pieces of the practical exam, if an individual hasn't passed, just say like, for instance, the P4 section of the exam, then they can come in and take that. The one that has to have the individuals come in and where you test their hearing, that piece of that practical exam can only be done during those 4 times. But some of those other ones can be done in between, and we have a staff member that administers that. And then the International Hearing Society exam, obviously that's the national exam. And then the Oregon Laws and Rules exam is also done in our office. We have like touchscreen computers where they can take the exam on that.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for the clarification.
Oh, absolutely. And ask away, because you're new to the board. So anytime I just like whiz over something that you won't have questions about, just let us know.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm a physician, so it's different for me, that's all.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so I'm on slide 21, this is the financials. And so Jean, I can give you some more details of this stuff. Most everybody's heard it before, but all now 17 boards and programs have their own funds, and their funds are kept separate. So that's where it shows where you have a beginning balance, ending balance, and then your ending balance carries forward to the next year. Again, our years go through July 1 through June 30th, so they're a little unusual. And then down on the bottom, we'll show an assessment. So the office has an internal allocation because the office doesn't have its own monies. So the office divvies it out, or has the internal allocation that's based on kind of what services you use in our office, but also based on how many licensees you have. So shared assessment is basically anything that's shared between all 17 boards and programs, or it's currently at 16 because genetic counselors haven't actually officially come on yet. And so that would be your shared stuff, like say, for instance, my wages, rent, utilities, stuff like that goes between all boards. That is where you guys pay 3.6% of that. And then the small board assessment, which is where we have 3 individuals who work on small boards, and we consider small boards everything except for cosmetology, because cosmetology is ginormous. And cosmetology pays, kind of depends on which one of these categories, but anywhere from 80 to 95% of the cost of stuff because they're so large. And then examinations, there is 3 positions that are related to examinations. Only currently 2 of them are filled. And so of those, you guys pay 1.8% of those expenses. And then inspections, you guys pay 0 because we don't do inspections for this board. So those are the office's internal allocations, but then there's also the allocations that are part of being a part of Oregon Health Authority and being a part of public health. So all those expenses are in the expenditures, the $4,482. That's how much so far this fiscal year, which is since July, that the board's expenses have been, and then the board has brought in $8,588 so far this fiscal year. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So inspections, why don't we do them for hearing?
Because there's no legal authority to do an inspection. There's legal authority for us to do investigations. So if there's a complaint and we have to do an investigation where we need to come and inspect something, that's different. So those are investigators that would then come do that. It's not a standard inspection. So statutorily, they're defined differently. So just because we don't do standard inspections doesn't mean we can't do an inspection. But
Exactly.
our standard inspections are like cosmetology, all your barber, hairdressers, nail salons, and then electrology and body piercing and tattoo. So they all have facility licenses that we have to legally do an inspection on a regular basis. And that's what those inspectors are.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so we have investigators and inspectors, and investigators can do inspections, but inspectors cannot do investigations. So, yes. Yeah. And it's all what's in statute. You've heard us talk before that we can't do anything that statute doesn't tell us that we can do. So,
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions on statistics or the financials?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So we are on slide 23, which is the regulatory report. Bob, did you want to get back on and go over this real quick?
Sure. So it shows that we have a few bienniums left open with investigations. The 2017 biennium, we had two. We're down to one there.
Okay, hold on.
Biennium, we have 10 cases open.
Bob, you're totally cutting out for me. Is it just me? Is he cutting out for others?
He's cutting
Cut
out.
out for me as well.
Okay, so sorry, Bob. I'll take over. We couldn't hear what you were saying. So if you're looking at slide 23, so the complaints that are open are over on the left hand. So there's still 2 open complaints from the 2017 biennium. And then there's 10 that are open for the 2019 biennium, 11 that are in the 21 biennium. And again, our bienniums go from, biennium is 2 years, but they go from July through June. And then those 2 cases are, one of our investigators is specifically working on those, trying to get them tied up and done. We were hoping to have those 2 plus another one for you guys, but we didn't have time to get it to where we felt comfortable bringing it to you. So when we're ready, we're going to send you guys out a notice, and we'll have a special board meeting that is only related to cases to try and get those cases closed. But we need to get to the point where we're ready. So potentially we might have a meeting between now and when you have your next one, which is in April, I do believe. April 1st. So we might have a meeting in between then and now. If not, we will just do it at the April meeting. It'll kind of depend on how far along the investigator is and if he's ready to submit his report and have you guys review it. And then also it'll kind of depend because we're going to start getting into the holiday season. So, but we'll be in touch. You'll see an email from April if we need you guys to meet and kind of go over those. But any questions on that? Sorry, Bob, you were cutting in and out and we were having a hard time hearing. So. All right. Well, we'll be in touch if we need to have that meeting. Oh my gosh, we're going to whiz right through this. Anne, can you see if anybody has logged into the public phone line?
This is Ann Thompson at Health Licensing. Are there any members of the public on the phone line? And if so, would you like to speak? Nope. We're
All
quiet.
right. There's no public or interested parties, so we're on item number 5, which is other board business. Does anybody have any other board business? You guys are easy. All right, well, I'll make up for it trying to schedule a meeting in between now and April 1st. I'm just kidding. We'll be in touch if we need that. You'll get an email most likely from April to if Bob is ready prior to the April 1st, you'll get an email from April as in a person. April will send an email trying to get quorum and work out some dates once Bob's ready. We'd like to get some of those old cases closed up, so.
This is Verheyden. How many cases do you anticipate this extra meeting is going to be?
We're looking at 3 at the moment.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, those
Thank
2
you.
that are old, and then there's one other case that's gonna I think we're gonna need some input on, kind of some direction on where to go. So I think there should be hopefully it'll be those closing up those 2, and then the third one will be more about some direction of how you think we should proceed on a certain case. And we don't talk about the details unless we're in executive session, which is why I'm being very generic.
I understand.
Okay.
Just 3 cases. That's all I need to know.
Yep. Any other board business?
This is Tiffany. Just really quick, actually. So what are our vacancies now on the board? We still have the consumer vacancy, and then do we have one dispenser position open as well?
Correct. Yes.
Is that my position, or do we have one in addition to me?
In addition to yours.
Okay.
Yeah, so and we've been trying desperately, Paige is on and she can affirm this, but we've been trying desperately to recruit board members. And we don't have a lot of interest for individuals serving on the board. So if you have anybody that you know of, we would love for you to send them Paige's way. Paige can answer any questions that they have about, because it's not like it takes a ton of time. You guys know this. We meet maybe twice a year. Well, we started at a little after 9 and we're already at 9:39 and we're pretty much done. So it's not a huge commitment. So if you know of anybody who might be remotely interested, you could encourage them. It's not a huge time commitment. You don't have to travel, so, but yes, we are looking for people.
You said consumer, and what was the other position you're looking for?
Another licensed hearing aid specialist. Well, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 licensed hearing aid specialists and then a consumer.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Do we have any, other than just the OHLA or HLO website, information on the consumer position that, if I wanted to put something in my clinic so that people can, consumers can come in and know that this is available, or I can direct them to a certain spot, or is it more so just hey, you have twice a year meetings and it's not going to take a lot of time?
No, Paige can send you something, Tiffany, send you something direct that you can just print out if you want. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because we've already tried recruiting for the consumer, so she can just send you what she sent and then you can just print it and say, hey, we're looking for this. If you're interested, it's, it's a great opportunity. And yeah.
Yeah, we need some spot. It's been vacant too long. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Doug. I'd like the same, please. That'd be awesome.
Sure. I'll just have Paige send it out blind copy to all of you, because then you can just, if you want, you can just hand it out, print it out, hand it out. It'll have all the information on how to contact Paige and it has all the stuff, the pertinent information. So Paige will just blind copy all of you on that.
Thank you, Sylvie.
Great. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
None.
All right. Well, then, Doug, you have your closing script.
Alrighty. The Advisory Council on Hearing Aids meetings is adjourned at this time at, what time is it? 9:41 on October 15th.
Perfect. All right, April,